They just weren't able to find a single link to Joe Biden doing anything illegal? I feel like at this point, I'm totally consistent. If there's corruption, investigate the corruption. Investigate the corruption. I'm totally fine with that. But please, there has to be evidence for it. All right, let's watch the video.
Sources are telling CNN that the president has now been told by his advisors to shy away from talking too much about what he's done for the bulk of the last 3 years.
Joining us now is Vivek Ramaswamy, former 2024 presidential candidate. Vivek, it took 16 people to come up with this?
The reality is these people have been wielding Biden as their puppet for a very long time. They're going to play their puppet tomorrow night in one more way. The reality is President Trump is actually quite brave to step up for this debate. In CNN, on the other...
He was the challenger. It's bad timing for Trump to do the debate now. Why is he brave to have a debate? He's been begging for a debate for like, how long? Okay.
The other side's home turf in the middle of Atlanta with no live audience. It would have been the equivalent of Biden going to Alabama in front of 3,000 people hosted by Fox News. No way Joe Biden would have done that. So I think Donald Trump is...
What do you mean? How is that anyway? The exact opposite of that would be Trump going to New York City to a stadium full of people moderated by MSNBC. Okay? Come on.
Live audience. It would have been the equivalent of...
The live audience thing does play in Biden's advantage because people laugh at Trump's, zingers. And if he just like says something and it is met with silence, it's like a laugh track in a sitcom. If you don't have the laugh track there, you don't know when you're supposed to laugh because the jokes aren't funny.
Biden going to Alabama in front of 3,000 people.
Yeah, and Trump has had multiple town halls and interviews on CNN. This is just like, it's massive cope. It's sandbagging any possible like loss that Trump could have. It's insane.
Hosted by Fox News. No way Joe Biden would have done that. So I think Donald Trump has already won the debate by showing up on the terms that Biden...
Just by showing up, Trump wins. Like, we don't even have to watch this debate. He went to the debate, so therefore he wins. Like, case closed. Don't watch the debate, guys, because, like, we don't know what, like, sneaky deep state tactics that this master debater, Biden, geriatric as he may be and puppet as he may be, we don't know what tactics he may employ here. So it's not even worth watching the debate, but, like, but Trump won it. So, like, Trump just wins. Like, talk about a participation trophy. Jesus Christ.
Biden demanded and demonstrating to this country that he's really ready to not only lead this country, but unite this country in a way that Biden has failed miserably to do. And I think he's going to...
How much bipartisan legislation did Trump get through? Not that much, if any. How much bipartisan policy, massive bipartisan policy, has Biden gotten through? We have the American Rescue Plan. We have the infrastructure bill. We have the CHIPS Act. We have the Inflation Reduction Act. We have like 3 or 4 other like massive spending bills that target specific things that Trump has been saying that he was going to fix the entire time he was president and before that, and never did because he can't work with anybody because it's his way or the highway. Hard to pass things when people will block you from breathing? Listen, if people are blocking him from breathing, he should probably try to negotiate with those people in good faith to try and get those people, like Biden did. You can like give all the Trump cope that you possibly can. But at the end of the day, he's the president of the United States. If he can't get the other senators from the other side on his side, if he can't get the House on his side for a single bill to address any of the major problems that we have in the United States, that's on him. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, everybody is supposed to be accountable except for Donald Trump. Trump isn't supposed to have any accountability literally ever for any of his failures, for any of his flaws, for any of his actions. Trump doesn't have any accountability. I forgot. That's how the conservative brain works right now.
Come across great tomorrow night.
And, you know, with Joe Biden, I mean, he has been in this this airplane where they keep the airplane, the hangar. I'm sorry.
You aren't asking accountability for the Biden crime family? I said, go ahead, do an investigation. I did say that, actually, explicitly. I said, investigate the Bidens, investigate Hunter Biden, investigate Joe Biden. Do what you want to do. But you know what? They were able to come up with some drug and gun charges for Hunter Biden, and he didn't file his taxes for like 2 years. But they weren't able, despite 2, maybe 3 years of Republican control of the House Investigation Committee or whatever it's called, they just weren't able to find a single link to Joe Biden doing anything illegal. I feel like at this point, I'm totally consistent. If there's corruption, investigate the corruption. Investigate the corruption. I'm totally fine with that. But please, there has to be evidence for it. You and your shit show. What do you mean you have the wings on the wrong one? I've never heard that expression before. I'm sorry if you feel that way, Lori. What do you want me to say? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Trump is my Lord and Savior, and he was chosen specifically by Jesus Christ to be his successor on this planet Earth that we occupy right now. I worship at the foot of Trump. I am a hardcore MAGA person, and I will never, ever question any statement, any action, or any, personality quirk of Donald Trump, because, I mean, he's essentially like my Lord and Savior. I know that might sound a little sacrilegious, but at the end of the day, he's a real Christian man, except for the fact that he thinks that his book is better than the Bible. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. Trump's like a real Christian man who loves Christians, despite not being photographed in a church for decades until he was the president, and then it felt really important that he was in a church at least once or twice a year. Anyways, let's continue.
With all of these people going in and out with golf carts, I mean, it's like they're making a movie. What do you think they're doing in there with Joe Biden? I mean, he's a president. Doesn't he already know his job?
I'm sorry. I was reading chat. Let me go back to where we were.
Doing in there with airplane, the hangar. I'm sorry. With all of these people going in and out with golf carts. I mean, it's like they're making a movie. What do you think they're doing in there with Joe Biden? I mean, he's a president. Doesn't he already know his job?
Well, one can only speculate, but I do believe that the whole thing is somewhat of a concrete poem, Judge. It's actually a way in which this whole thing is a production, an artifice. You got Steven Spielberg designing it. It's designed with the effects of a movie studio, they say. Well, that's like this whole Potemkin village of the entire presidency. It is a projection of artifice. Bidenomics with one set of facts, the economic reality for Americans. Bidenomics with one set of facts, the economic reality for Americans, another. Claiming to do something about the southern border.
Play this since you brought it up. Please let it be short.
Okay. You mentioned the Bible. You've been talking about how it's your favorite book. And you said, I think last night in Iowa, some people are surprised that you say that. I'm wondering what one or two of your most favored Bible verses are and why.
I wouldn't want to get into it because to me that's very personal. You know, when I talk about the Bible, it's very personal. So I don't want to get into verses. I don't want to get into.
There's no verse that means a lot.
You can't even think of John 3:16.
To you that you think about or cite.
The Bible means a lot to me, but I don't want to get into specifics.
Man, why does he look like this? Is it just the lighting? This was when, it says 4 years ago. So when was this? Oh.
Even to cite a verse that you like.
No, I don't want to do that.
You're an Old Testament guy or a New Testament guy?
Probably equal. I think it's just an incredible.
He doesn't know anything about the Bible, dude. Yeah, I'm all right. I like them both a lot. Well, do you like you like the Jesus parts or do you like the Jew part? And he's like, I like them both. Oh, man.
Incredible. The whole Bible is an incredible. I joke very much so. They always hold up The Art of the Deal. I say my second favorite book of all time.
Front Yard Shield, you keep on saying that you love this country, but you literally just shoot out every anti-American talking point of all time without any understanding about any of it. I don't know who you are, so I won't do that.
Time. But I just think the Bible is just something very special.
I think it's something very special. Okay. No more links. We're getting through this.
For Americans, another. Claiming to do something about the southern border when we have the largest influx of illegal migration in the history of this country. So in a certain way, that debate preparation and the movie studio antics is a perfect encapsulation of the falsehood of this presidency in the first place. But the good news is I think the American people have been lied to before. They're prepared to see through it.
And, you know, the New York Times is going to be deploying 29 fact-checkers to CNN's presidential debate between Biden and former President Trump on Thursday. Do you think this is a little much?
Well, look, the reality is I think it's perfectly reasonable.
Well, you know, with the amount of times that Trump speaks, you know, you're probably going to need 29 fact checkers because every breath that he takes is going to take them another like 5 minutes to look up all of the crazy shit that he's saying.
Reasonable to have progressive-leaning publications state their opinions. We're in a country where you have the freedom to speak, after all. But the problem with institutions like the New York Times, or CNN for that matter, is that they pretend to be neutral institutions when in fact just purveying progressive political views.
Would you guys admit to being partisan conservatives, or are you guys fair and balanced still?
So I have no problem if you want to publish progressive political views, but just own it. Call your news page what it is. It is an opinion page. And the reality is these fact checks have been time and again proven wrong. Just look at the last election, the Hunter Biden laptop story. What happened to that?
Yeah.
Proven to be true when they said it was false. Right. The origin of COVID. They have not learned their...
The origin of COVID has not been settled, first off. Second off, I'm pretty sure we're further away now than we were like in 2022 from the, you know, it was created in a lab theory.
Lesson of humility, and the sad fact of the matter is that's why Americans distrust the mainstream media, and tomorrow's going to be a great night for them to hear directly from both candidates, and I expect President Trump to shine.
I do.
Except for all of the reasons why I said that he's not going to shine, because of all of the, you know, all of the conspiracies to make sure that he fails. So if he fails, it's because they, you know, intentionally made it to where he couldn't win. But if he wins, then he just like overcame all of the odds. It's either I win and that's just it, I just won, or I lost, but that's because they rigged it. You going to stream the debate? Yes. So stick around on Kick, all right?
As well, but Vivek, a photographer, went viral on X after posting about Trump leaving Cleveland Hopkins Airport. He's theorized that he was there to ask someone to become his VP in person. And he said that it was you. Any response to this?
Look, what I'll say...
Bro, if he chooses Vivek Ramaswamy to be the VP, there's got to be someone else in Ohio, right? Because people have said, or I think that Trump said that he has already selected a VP candidate. If it's someone from Ohio, it's either that JD Vance guy, right? Because he's from Ohio. Let me make sure. From Ohio. So I think it's way more likely that it's JD Vance than Vivek Ramaswamy, but...
Say is this: President Trump and I have had some great conversations about the future. He has not asked me to be his vice president, but whoever he asks, I think will have a great opportunity and an honor and a duty to serve this country, to advance that America First agenda, take it to the next level, to fix that southern border crisis, to grow the economy, and I believe to get those bureaucrats out of Washington, D.C. That's how you grow the economy. And you know what? The step-by-step process is first success tomorrow night, then win the election.
Step 1, fire bureaucrats. Step 2, watch line go up.
Then implement the agenda. I think that's how we're going to save this country.
All right, Vivek, we love you. Thanks so much for being with us tonight.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox.
Taibbi's Italian.
I'm not watching it. Okay. Listen, this entire thing is just like managing expectations for the entirety of the Trump base. That's all this is. That's all that Fox has been doing for the past week, is just managing expectations, because they feel like Trump has a really, like, I would say there's like a 50-50 chance of one of them doing something incredibly stupid tonight. All right. Either one of them, 50-50 chance. Actually, I'd probably put a slightly higher on Trump because he refuses to do any debate prep. they had to rebrand debate prep as policy discussions with him because he wouldn't do any debate prep because he thinks he's just got it in the bag. So like maybe I would put it slightly higher for Trump, but like both of them have the opportunity to do some real dumb shit or say some real dumb shit tonight. I just don't understand how people don't see the like instant heel turn, not heel turn, like turn on a dime for these people to like, for like, again, years say that Biden is just a puppet. Biden is a dementia riddled old man.
Very long time.
But now like it's going to be a catastrophic, horrible debate for Trump, but he's still going to win. How's it going, Abby? Well, welcome. For people that are new, if you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching on Kick, I'm Sondsol. I am a political science student. I like to talk about politics. I like to argue about politics. We talk about all sorts of fun things on here like drama and politics. And I like to argue with people and chat about a lot of different things. Like, comment, and subscribe. I don't like to shill all